the front page of the New Telegraph. We need 100,000 vehicles, 4,200 votes for 2023 polls. That's coming from INE. Yes, those are the headlines as we have them in the newspapers today. With me in the house is my regular guest on the program, Citizen Olawe. You are welcome on the review of the papers this morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
All right, thank you very much. Now, let's start with the Guardian newspaper. New Naira notes yet to circulate amid fear of counterfeiting.
I've seen the 1,000 Naira design.
Okay.
Talking about counterfeiting, the security features on the note should be made public. The public should be educated on the security features to always look out for. That will checkmate the activities of patriotic Nigerians who may want to counterfeit it. Once that is done, the fear will be allayed. And then because it was just injected into the economy on the 15th of December, just this week.
Yeah.
So circulating might be a little poor. But I've seen, surprisingly, I've seen this new Naira notes being hawked.
Okay.
By,
hawked?
yes, by currency sellers. So that is, and that's a problem with us as Nigerians. That is where I need opinion leaders to stand up for Nigeria. It's not enough to criticize the government, but to educate Nigerians that we do not have another country. Whatever we do to Nigeria, we do to ourselves. So it is until Nigerians become patriotic and defend the continued existence of Nigeria as a nation, then our problems will remain with us. We recite the national anthem, we recite the pledge without meaning it. It is not enough to recite. What is required is to live by it. Believe in in the pledge, believe in the national anthem, and ensure that it guides our everyday activity and interaction with other Nigerians. And until we start doing that, no nation, citizens of other countries will also not take us seriously.
All right. Let me see the related story. I'm moving to Vanguard newspapers now. Federal government bans cash withdrawals from public accounts.
Yeah, we just saw the ruling in the case brought against Dr. the newly passed DG of Peter Obi campaign organization as a result of the huge amount of money that he received as cash. I agree that huge amounts should not be withdrawn from the public accounts to checkmate activities of corrupt government officials. And until that is done, I'm glad that what happened, that EFCC was able to follow that case through. And I'm glad that at least now we know that nobody is above the law. Laws should not be made for the poor.
Yeah. Now let's see another money-related story, and I am moving to this day newspaper. Cash policy. Can others express concern over plots to arrest Emefiele?
The cash policy, the withdrawal limits, okay. The redesign of the Naira, as far as I'm concerned, is also okay by me. But reasons why DSS want to arrest Emefiele. I would have loved to see it. Let us see what the issues are.
Okay.
Because it is only DSS that is privy to the security reports they have.
Okay.
We do not have that.
Okay.
So until cases are tried in law courts, you never know the outcome. You can never predict what the outcome will be like. When Abakari was accused of corrupt practices, we didn't believe it until it was proved beyond reasonable doubt. So that is my opinion about that.
Okay. All right. Now, another story here, related story. $2.4 billion revenue loss. Reps probe sale of crude oil from 2014. That is on Nigerian Tribune.
It's a good one. It's a good one. Because this government came into office in 2015.
Okay.
So if they are going just a year back, that's to 2014, to investigate what happened, either to confirm the allegations or get the allegations refuted. At least it should be investigated. The facts of the case should be established, and then justice should be done.
All right. Now, let me move to the Punch newspapers now. Rep cash limits. Reps order CBN to stay action. Banks adamant.
I really do not know. The reps have been in the country since the governor of Central Bank came up with the idea of they were the members of the House of Rep were in the country when the cashless policy was signed.
Okay.
So to drive the cashless policy, there must be a reduction in the amount of money that can be cashed across the counter, that can be withdrawn across the counter. And then, what are the benefits? Yes, there are pros and cons. But if the benefits outweighs the disadvantages, I think it should be allowed to fly. And then we should not wait till the last minute, as we always do in Nigeria, to react to issues. Immediately, the idea of cashless policy came on board. Immediately, the governor of Central Bank also meted the idea of limiting the amount of money that can be cashed across the counter. The House of Reps ought to have, even before it was made public, they should have asked for clarifications, for information, instead of now asking the Central Bank to stay action. Because I see that development as a very good one. You will see that since the idea of designing the naira and limiting the amount of money that can be cashed across the counter, the cases of kidnapping reduced drastically. Because those who have made kidnapping, banditry a source of livelihood now have problems getting the money, the cash they have in their coffers into the banks. Now we've had stories of money that have been stocked somewhere that had decayed, surfacing. Must we continue like that? It will checkmate the activities of corrupt government officials, because, and then it will also help us, like I said, the security, it will help improve the security state of the country. Bank robbery will reduce, because the amount of money that will be kept in bank books will be reduced, and that will not make bank robbery lucrative. Also, it will help save the lives of businessmen. They will have to carry fewer amount of money, so they will not be exposed to unnecessary attack by armed robbers and petty thieves. So I see it as a welcome development. It's just that we need more information. Members of the public need to be educated. We need to see National Orientation Agency at work. We need to see all media houses working hand in hand with National Orientation Agency. This government is not giving out enough information. Members of the public are not being properly educated. When there are changes, people definitely always react to changes. But with adequate information, there is the resistance will be reduced.
Okay. Now let me move to the blueprint now and see the political story here. Tinubu ready to build Nigeria in difficult times. Article to open all borders.
Yeah, I wish them all the best, but I'm concerned about opening all borders. Opening all borders to enable Nigeria push out Nigerian-made goods, or to make Nigeria a dumping ground. We're talking about, we're still faced with security challenges. When our borders are opened, the borders are closed, supposedly closed now, yet they are porous. So when they are thrown open, arms and ammunition we come in without any form of unrestricted. So I believe that decision needs to be looked at again. What are the challenges? What are the benefits of opening our borders when we have nothing to export? The first thing is to make Nigerian goods acceptable in the world markets. And to achieve that, we have to fix the energy problem in Nigeria. We have to encourage Nigerians to produce goods, to manufacture goods that Nigerians themselves we consume. The quality must be right. The price must be affordable. And one thing that usually make the price of made in Nigerian good not affordable is the cost of energy. Because once power supply is not regular, manufacturers have to depend on their own, on other sources of power generation, which is at a cost, an extra cost that ought not to be.
Okay.
So everything that we, and then by so doing, employment, we will be able to also solve the unemployment challenge that Nigeria has. And that will also reduce the level of insecurity. And then we also make Nigerians proud. I think what we need at this time is how to become an industrialized nation.
All right. Now, let me move to the Daily Sun newspaper. 2023, Atiku, Tinubu, Obi, rave-off campaigns, visit Katsina, Cross River, Akwa Ibom, make mouth-watering promises.
Yeah, that is not unexpected. Politicians, this is the season for them to sell themselves. But I would just tell Nigerians to shine their eyes. When they reel out promises, we ought to be also prepared with our own demands. What are we asking of them? What is it that we want them to do for us? And then when we talk to them about what we want them to do for us, and when they also make their own political promises to us, we should also hold them accountable. If those promises, there must be timeline on each promise. If you say you will do this, within what period? And make Moro to become second London. When? How? And then if the when and how are not met, we should also take them up. But when they know that they can get away without fulfilling their political promises, it's of no use. Whether they attend town hall meetings, whether they make promises, does not matter. As far as we do not hold them accountable to their promises.
All right. Let's see this story on the Nation newspaper. Tinubu unveils funding plan for infrastructure revolution.
That's good. I wish him all the best.
All right. Now, let me move to the New Telegraph newspaper now. We need 100,000 vehicles, 4,200 votes for 2023 polls, INEC.
Yeah, I think that is quite reasonable. I'm only concerned about the lamentation that is coming out from that government agency about the state of insecurity, and their concern about making me to feel worried whether the election will actually hold or not. Because if they say, if these insecurity challenges continue into January, today is the 21st of December, January is just few days in. What are they saying? So if the election will not hold, then why invest money on that? They should not in one voice tell us that, look, there's no hope of election holding, and then in another way tell us these are the things we need. They should boost our confidence. They should also boost our morale and encourage us to believe that the 2023 election will take place, because that is the only opportunity that we have to change bad government. If election does not take place, who gains? Is it the citizens? Is it the politicians? If the election does not take place, the current pool of politicians cannot stay in office beyond the period, the statute period that they're supposed to serve in office. It will be unconstitutional, and that will result in chaos. And that will not be in the interest of any patriotic Nigerian. So every patriotic Nigerian should start doing everything that will ensure that that election holds.
All right. Now, before we round up, let's see this story on the Daily Trust newspaper. IPOB attacks, Igbo avoid Christmas trips to Southeast.
It's unfortunate. Who would want to die? On daily basis, we keep hearing of the incessant attacks in the Southeast, and then I heard the story of somebody who got stranded in Imo, went for a wedding, and then decided, because the wedding didn't end on time, decided to stay till Monday for not remembering that there's a sit-at-home order. And then the report says, the story was that the streets were deserted, were like graveyards. So who wants to celebrate Christmas in a graveyard environment? Who wants to be in a graveyard environment for New Year? Who wants to risk his life? I was reading, I was listening to Babajide Utitoju yesterday, and he said that there was a time he went to pay, he had something doing in Zamfara. And when he visited the governor of Zamfara, that he was told that the governor told him that we're sure that members of your family must have held a vigil to pray for your safety to and fro the northern part of the country. So who wants to put his or her life at risk just to celebrate Christmas and New Year when it can be celebrated where they are? That is why every well-meaning Nigerian must rise up to the occasion and ensure that we make Nigeria a secured and safe place for all. It is not a job that the government alone can do. There are so many factors involved in this, and we should stop playing politics with the state of insecurity. We should start saying things that will unify us, that will help us to checkmate the activities of these unpatriotic people who want to destroy Nigeria, who want Nigeria destroyed at all costs.
All right, thank you, Citizen Lalawe. Our time is up and we have to go now. Thank you for coming on the program today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you very much. Viewers at home, this is where we are going to call it quits for today. Tomorrow is another day where you meet another of my colleagues on the fresh edition of the newspaper studio. Until then, I am Kayode Adebayo. Bye-bye.